Well, hello again. Um, the question I see asked a lot is, how do you remove the front clip of a first gen EXP? Well, it's interesting. Um, it's not too bad, but there's a lot more involved than there would be on, say, a 90s or newer car. And that's just because of the nose cone. Uh, I don't have it on yet, so I'll be doing a separate video on how to remove the nose cone. But, so I guess removing the front clip of first gen, this would be video part 2, I guess. But anyhow, on first gen EXPs, you have the frog eye nose. You also have these very distinct quarter panels. And these quarter panels are unique only to the first gen EXPs and LN7s, anything from 82 to 85. These are not the same quarter panels as Escort or Lynx quarter panels, nor Tempos. The shape is only available for the EXP and LN7. The Escort one is similar. It does fit, but it will not fit the nose. Therefore, this is kind of the only fender for you if you want to keep your first gen nose. But anyway, down to the business. Just like any normal quarter panel, there's a crap ton of bolts up top. Somehow I lost a clip on this side, and I lost one on that side. You can see that empty hole right next to the teardrop. And on these, you're supposed to have 4 hood bumpers. You can see I have 3. I need a second one of these. Someone lost it before I got the car. But you're supposed to have 4 of these. Each one goes into the teardrop shape. I can't remember which one goes towards the front and which one goes towards the window, but anyhow, not too important. If you have a 1982 model, you will have this. You will have your hood prop retainer. And any first gen will have a hood prop. And the hood prop will always be mounted. Count 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts in. And you'll know you have it right because there's a slump here to keep the post seated so your prop doesn't move. And again, like I said, if you have a 1982 only model, only 1982s had this. This is a, like I said, with the window prop retainer. And it will always be mounted on count 1, 2 on the second bolt. And you can see where it's been resting, because when you put it down, it seats in here and it'll lay up against here or vibrate, whatever. 1983 and all the way through 1985, they might have gone even further than that, but from 83 to 85 for sure. They casted this little area of the radiator support differently so that you did not need the separate retainer. It's handy because you don't have to deal with this when you're taking a quarter panel off, but it does not work as well as this does. This works significantly better than all the others. But the only way you can use this while having the 83 to 85 radiator support is if you hammer it down in. If your 82 EXP is missing this for whatever reason, that's just fine. You can pull your prop rod down, you can pull it out to the side, and you can actually move it underneath this radiator support. That's not the best place for it to sit, but it is a good place for it to sit if, for whatever reason, you don't have one of them. So, like I said, there's a whole bunch of bolts on each side. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There should be 6, 7, 8 on the top, times 2. So you have 16 bolts on the top, You have one on the front quarter, times 2. You have 2 on the front quarter. Then you have one in here. Hopefully you can see it when I open up the door. But you have one right there. On each side, so times 2. You have 2 per door. 2 per door. For whatever reason, my latch is not functioning worth a darn, so there we go. I have to lubricate it. It's been sitting dry for 3 years. Anyhow. And then the final bolt will be on the bottom. And you will not see this at first. And again, there's one on the other side, so that's 2 again total. So for total bolts, you have 1, 2, plus 8, that's 10, plus 1, that's 11. So you have 11 bolts on each side. It's 22 bolts to keep track of. And like I said, with this one, it's covered up. It is hidden with one of these panels. And each one of these panels has 2 screw holes in it. They'll take them flat-shouldered screws. They'll go through the panels, and they'll go into those 2 little screw holes on each of the quarter panels. Then, you also have this fender liner. It is attached to the fender in 1. You probably can't see that one. 2, 3 places on each side. So, in all, you have 22 bolts and 10 screws to remove your quarter panel. You also need to note the antenna base on your EXP. Some of them are round, like mine. Some of them are square, like my convertibles. I have a separate video on how to remove the round base one. I haven't done the square base yet, so I'll try to do that sometime soon. But also to remove these, you must disconnect the light from the front turning markers. So I pulled mine out. All you have to do is it's in there, turn left or right. I think with that you can turn it either direction and it'll come out. Just do it 90 degrees, and if it's still fighting you, just turn it a tiny bit any direction until it comes out. They won't fight you too bad unless they're sitting in there funny. But again, turn it gently, pull gently, they'll pop right out. I have a separate video on how to remove and clean the corner bumpers and the corner marker lenses. So I'll leave that link in the description. But I almost forgot, before you can do anything I previously talked about, you must remove the nose cone, and I'll have a separate video on that. So that's about all. I have a video on the fender liners if you're interested in that, if you need to replace them. Also have a video on the fender inserts. I think they're wool. They're a cloth of some sort. It's a cloth insert just for sound insulation and whatever else, I guess, but those are pretty simple. Again, I have a video on them. Pretty much once you're done painting them, all you have to do is paint the bottom here, which is optional, of course. Every second gen EXP I've seen has had not second gen, every first gen EXP I've seen has had a black bottom running down here, just that last 2.5 inches. But that's totally optional, you don't have to. I will be doing it because you can see that there's a whole lot of blue here, and until I have my bumper stripes in, there's going to be a whole lot of blue here still. So, oh, and that was another thing. Bumper strips. The bumper strips Can't remember if they go on the top or the bottom of this line. I'll have to look on that, but I'll have a separate video on those because I need to rehang mine and rebond them. So we'll get there sometime soon. But that is all for now. So good luck. Be gentle. These quarter panels are not easily come across, and neither are things like the corner bumpers, the corner markers, the fender liners, the fender inserts, the antenna base, or the fender itself. So again, take your time. There's no need to rush on this thing. Use 2 people to remount it if you need to. I remounted it myself and didn't have any issues until I lifted up the hood just right and it pulled a freaking chip off. So I gotta touch that off, touch that up. I've readjusted the hood since, but my quarter panels are hanging right. I gotta put my bumper on, my corner bumper on. I need to put on my 2 panels, paint that lower black, put on my bumper strip and my front clip, and then we'll really be looking good as far as body work goes. So, again, see you later.